Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Wes with Jake and Wes Gaming, and today we'll be bringing you a news update in regards to Ghost Recon Breakpoint's PvP multiplayer. For the most part, the premise is the same as Wildlands PvP, but with some big changes. It will still pit players in 4v4 tactical play modes, but the numerous classes that were available in Wildlands are gone. Instead, players will be using their PvE character in PvP. That means those 4 classes that the player chooses from will be the ones we get for PvP at launch, which are the Assault, Sharpshooter, Panther, and Engineer. Now I say at launch because they may come out with new classes in the months following the game's release. 2 game modes will be making a return as well, and they are the Elimination and Sabotage game modes. Elimination being your typical 4v4 deathmatch, but with a tactical twist. And Sabotage, which has one team attempting to plant a bomb and the other trying to prevent them from doing so. We will be also getting 6 maps at launch as well, and they are pulled directly from the game world, except this time they are designed with PvP in mind. So you can kind of expect more open, diverse environments mixed with close quarters showdowns. One change that I really like personally is the new shrinking combat zone. Now what this does is it gradually sinks the play area, dealing damage to players that aren't inside of it. The placement of the zone is randomly generated as well. So I'm pretty sure you've all played Wildlands when there's one person left on each team. It's 2 minutes left. They're both, will just kind of camp until the time runs up and, ends in a draw. This is kind of supposed to mitigate that. It forces the remaining players to adjust. Luckily, this is only for elimination mode and not the other match types. I really don't see this mechanic working in Sabotage or Uplink, kind of forcing players to move around and stuff like that. Drones and other special tools won't be available to players at the beginning of matches. They're going to be placed on the maps for everyone to acquire throughout it. So this is kind of awesome because it gives us more choices during the fight. So for example, we go for the gas drone on the west side of the far building, or do we go for the med kits on the southeastern side? You know what I'm saying? It kind of gives us some choices throughout the match, and it makes us kind of tactically think about what we're going to do before we start engaging everyone. A big switch though is the addition of dedicated servers. This will bring more stability, less lag, making it more difficult to hack or exploit. Alright. I mentioned earlier that PvE classes will be the ones we'll be using for PvP. So with that, there will be shared progression as well. The developers want players to progress in Breakpoint at their own terms by playing PvE, PvP, a mix of both, whatever. In a shared progression environment, it allows us to easily move between PvE and PvP. So if we're mainly a PvP player, and we want to do that most of the time, then we'll still be able to level up, spend points to upgrade skills and stuff like that throughout our experience gained through PvP. If you just kind of PvE, you just want to play the campaign for the most part, you can do that too. But if you want to switch over and hey, I want to try PvP out, you can, and you'll have all the gear and the skills and stuff like that to be able to do so. What I'd also like to add though with that is that everyone knows that we're going to have tiered loot. All right. Now the developers put in a system in place that brings balance to the matchmaking gear levels. So that means PvP will level the playing field. So low level players that just started the game, their gear level's not high, their skills aren't really leveled up that well, they can still go into Ghost War and enjoy it. Players with high tiered loot and high gear levels and stuff like that, they're going to be capped to a certain point to where everybody's balanced and everybody can enjoy it. What else? Oh yeah, players will also have a matchmaking rating, which means we will be matched up with players with similar ratings. And that's a big deal if you think about it. How many times were you playing Wildlands with a mix of low level players? You'll be Prestige 6 and you'll have, player level 1 or player level 25 in your team. And then on the other team, you see prestige level 46, 22, 35. What that new matchmaking system is supposed to do is supposed to mitigate that stuff. And everybody's going to be matched accordingly. That's really all I have, guys. I don't want to cover too much because me and Jake believe it's best to experience the game without knowing too much about it. But if you'd like to know more, we've included a link of the official article in the description below. Go ahead, Jake.
Thanks, Wes. I'll be going over things that wasn't covered in the video, but things that we hope to see later on, maybe even past launch. Now, speaking in old Ghost Recons, I'd like to see a return of past game modes that we lost, maybe conflict, decoy, some sort of game mode that allows us to have a faster pace of PvP style that's more akin to maybe Future Soldier or GRA PvP, if anyone remembers any of that. Now, I'd also like to see a return of leaderboards in past, not just Ghost Recon games, maybe those of you who played the old Rainbow Six games, in particular Raven Shield or Black Arrow, remember that we had leaderboards in the games. I'd like to see that come back so that we could maybe schedule our own tournaments and keep track of our squad stats that way. We'd also like to see more than just 4v4, maybe even up to 8v8. Now that would mean that there would have to be different maps. Of course, you can't have the same maps for 4v4 versus 8v8, but I think that's pretty doable. I think they should keep the events from Ghost War, so I do hope that those return. But the big thing, and I know it's not popular in the gaming community right now, is a return of same system cooperative play, both for PvP and for PvE. But I'm sure that I've missed some things. I'm sure that Wes has missed some things. Maybe something was even wrong in the video. But if you have your own community suggestions, go ahead and let us know down in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. But that's going to be it for us, guys. Thank you so much. Treat 'em rough. Thanks for watching.